Kirby Smart does this a lot, and I think this is one reason why he's a really good coach. I want to tell you about what he talked about with Kelee Ringo and the play that capped off a 33 to 18 win over Alabama in the national championship game. Kelee Ringo is on the cover of DAWGSTRUCTION. Make sure you get it. It's a wonderful book, 80 pages. The images are the thing that people talk about the most. You can click on the link below, and that will let you check out DAWGSTRUCTION. Here's what he said to reporters about Kelee and that final play, that final score in the national championship game. He said, he'll be first to tell you that he made an outstanding play, a play that will live in glory and be great. But he also had some plays in that game that weren't so good. He's got some tackling situations that he's got to improve on. What makes me so proud of Kelee is that he is taking it out there on the field. We're really working on the physical part and being a better tackler. By the way, just as an aside, this is a really being the better tackler on the perimeter. That's something that Kirby Smart's talked about for a long time. He's talked about how that is the new Oklahoma drill of college football. If you don't know what Oklahoma drill is, that's okay. But it was the traditional linebacker and running back just in a kind of in a square, and someone had to make a play. You score a touchdown, you tackle, and that's what Oklahoma drill was. Now a lot of plays are on the corner in college football, so that's one thing that he's talking about with Kelee and tackling. He says, if anything, that play, talking about the national championship game and Kelee getting the interception, that play gives him a little more confidence to play with. Most of the year, he was working on that confidence. He was the guy that some teams went after more than De'Aaron Kendrick, and he had a chance to make some plays. He started to get some confidence. He can let that play live on, live in infamy, or he can decide to make a lot of those plays, go be a great player, and go make money in the NFL and develop. I think that's the route he's taking. I know this, he's going to get a lot of encouragement from me to do that. So far, he has done that. I push Kelee because I know he can be a really good player. When you watch Kirby on the sideline with the guys in the secondary, well, just a lot of guys, but it seems like he has a special relationship sometimes with the guys in the secondary. Usually the safeties, but not always. I mean, his relationship with Richard LeCount uh, was noticeable. I can tell you that story in a second. But Lewis Cine and him were just close. You could see that too. Richard LeCount was the first player to commit to Kirby Smart after he had been hired. I had to pull over on a gas station to talk to Richard very briefly after that happened. I think I was the first person to talk to Richard when that happened. We got the story out on Dog Post, and you could tell that what Richard said that day was what's happened in the last 6 months, which was, I want to be a part of Georgia winning the national championship. Richard wasn't on that team, but he was certainly, he missed it by a year, but he was certainly a reason why Georgia got to the level it's at right now, which is recruiting players like Kelee Ringo. Um, that play, it's hard to imagine that Kelee Ringo at Georgia will top that particular play. Um, a 80-yard or whatever, it was 78-yard jog, aggressive jog into the end zone. It was a moment that, in looking back at the pictures that I took for the first time in 3 months, uh, Ben Watson jumped right out in front of me. Um, and so I was positioned in the one spot where you wouldn't want to be, considering where Kelee got the ball and took off towards. But that moment was an exceptional explosion of energy that's going to really be hard to eclipse by Kelee, um, because it came against because it came against who it came against, which was Alabama, because it came in the national championship game, because it was such an exceptional run. The throw was a terrible. I don't know what Young was looking at. That was a bad decision. But Kelee just made him pay. I mean, Kelee made him pay, and he streaked down the that what I guess would be the right sideline with the Georgia bench right behind him into infamy. And half midway through the end zone after he had made the turn, probably somewhere around the R for Georgia, he started stomping his feet. There was a lot of joy in that moment. But with the stomping and so forth, I mean, I don't know what Keely's been through this past, you know, 15, 18 months, 2 years. I know what it's like to have a mother that had breast cancer. I understand that part, but I don't know, for him being injured in 2020, excuse me, 2020, and having to go across the country to go to college and have your mother fighting for her life and uh, all of the expectations of greatness. There's a lot that goes into every single moment of these college players' careers, or that builds to these big moments to their careers. And for Keely, um, as I said, it's going to be hard to top where he's at right now at Georgia. But over time, I don't see why he couldn't make a play like that in the Super Bowl. I mean, he's the type of guy that should be a top, 60 pick or whatever, a first 2 round pick. And Kirby's point is, hey, you made a huge play. It's a big play, but is that going to be the only play in your college career that people ever talk about? And honestly, right now it would be. I mean, I don't know that I'm not putting Keely down. I don't know of any other play off the top of my head that he made that was such a big play. But I mean, damn, if you look at this secondary, um, and guys coming back, Chris Smith with an interception for a touchdown that was as pivotal at the beginning of the season as any play that Georgia made, along perhaps with Dan Jackson's punt block against Arkansas, and then Kelee Ringo's interception for a touchdown in the national championship game. I mean, they're bringing back 2 guys, and that'll be probably Keely's final season this season, probably. But Chris Smith certainly. They're bringing back 2 guys that made really big plays for them in really big moments. I mean, Chris's play turned out to be a big moment. We didn't know before that snap that it would be that way. We knew that we were reaching the terminal moments of the Alabama game because they were running out of time. There's 54 seconds left in the game, I think it was. Is it really, again, a bad decision by Bryce Young? Now, that happens. I mean, quarterbacks are going to make bad calls from time to time, or make bad decisions. But that was a pretty bad one because they didn't have a chance from that point forward to win the game. I mean, it was over. So, and Kelee burned them. And now Kirby's question is, what will it be moving forward? And we're all here to find out and watch. Make sure you're checking out DAWGSTRUCTION. The link is down below. We're already on our 4th run of this book, and hopefully you'll pick up your book in this run. Make sure you're picking it up down below before we have to go to another printing and you have to wait a little bit longer. You buy it today, we'll get it out to you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. We'll see you over on the website.